Hi guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to the first video of my channel. My name is Molly, I'm 17 years old, and for today's video I'm going to be talking about my story with having epilepsy. I thought doing this video for a first video would be a good place to start because I hope to do loads more epilepsy related videos. I hope to do other things as well, but since I'm looking at epilepsy at the moment, that's my main focus, I thought starting with my story first would allow anyone to get to know me better, just a good place to start for a first video. So my epilepsy journey started in February 2016. My first ever seizure happened in school. I was on my own with a friend because we were stupidly bunking lessons. We shouldn't have been, but we were. That was when the first ever seizure happened. Around the time of this first seizure, I had 2 nosebleeds and I was getting frequent headaches. I was constantly asking for like painkillers, and my headaches would get really bad to the point that I would be sitting in the kitchen or in a room with the lights off, and like if I was on a device or something like that, the brightness would be turned down to the lowest because it was just irritant. It gave me headaches. I was just not my usual self. And I've been quite lucky health-wise. I don't really get sick or I don't get stomach aches. I don't, like everyone else will be getting the flu and I'll just be there with a little bit of an itchy cough or a sore throat, and that's about it. So other than that, I've been quite lucky health-wise. So all of a sudden all these things were happening. Went to the doctors, obviously, because I had a fit. It was quite concerning. I had no idea what the hell had happened. I don't know what, at the time I didn't know what a fit actually looked like. I had no idea. I didn't really know much about seizures in general, so I had gone to the GP where I was referred for an EEG and an MRI, and because of the nosebleeds and the headaches I was referred straight away in case it was like a tumour or a bleed But it kind of makes me laugh that, well, not laugh, but you get what I'm trying to say. It doesn't make sense to me that they referred me straight away because of all these concerns, but I was on a waiting list, and this waiting list was a good couple of months wait, so I had to wait for tests to be done. And in the meantime, while I was waiting, my fits continued to happen, and it was kind of stressful because on a couple of occasions I had to go to the hospital via ambulance, and it was kind of annoying and frustrating because they would ask like questions. They would ask, like, for example, whoever was with me in the ambulance, does this young lady have epilepsy? And we couldn't answer because we didn't know. So on one occasion I was taken to hospital and a doctor put me on Tegretol medication. He said, take this until your tests are done. He put me on a pretty low dose. It was only 200, and I was told by my neurologist that that is a child's typical, like, lowest, it's like the lowest dose you can apparently get. So, well, one of the lowest anyway. So I was taking this and it did not help. Well, I'm not surprised it didn't help because it's a low dose, and for the seizure, for the amount of like fits that I was having, I'm not surprised it didn't work. So anyways, the fits continued to happen. I had a bloody nightmare and a half with them, but I had the tests done and it came back with epilepsy. Now, to those of you who might know me really well, you might know me through school, you might be family, you might be a friend, you might be a teacher watching, whoever you are, if you know me well enough, you will know that epilepsy has given me not the easiest of times. In January, my fits continued to happen. My epilepsy medication was slowly going up every few weeks because when I was diagnosed, the doctor then had a reason to up my medication, if that makes any sense. So every couple of weeks the medication was going up, and because it was slowly going up, my fits continued to happen, and I was having too many. It was getting to the point where it was difficult. It really upset me. It wasn't a good thing. I didn't like it. I couldn't understand why it was happening to me. All I could understand was epilepsy has come into my life and what the fuck am I supposed to do about it? I wasn't very educated about the epilepsy. I didn't understand much about it, so yeah. Anyway, January came about and I had a really bad episode in school. School had been pretty difficult for me around my epilepsy for a few reasons. Not just because the seizures were happening in other places as well as school. And as you can imagine, when the seizures are happening in school, I can't concentrate in lesson. It means that I have a fit and I have to leave lesson, and it means that I can't concentrate very well. So, yeah. January came about and I had 7 seizures, which had happened in the school corridor. An ambulance had been called and a couple of teachers from school decided that they had an opinion of me that I thought was very spiteful. But anyways, they had this opinion on me. There was only 2 teachers that really had this view of my epilepsy. They said that they felt my seizures were not real. They said they felt that it was more of a mental health problem. They felt that I just didn't want to be in school. I was unhappy with my life and I wanted a bit of attention. And that was very hard for me to listen to, because obviously I've been diagnosed and you're coming up with all this random bullshit. I couldn't understand it. So, yeah. This was all said to the ambulance crew as I was being taken to hospital. So they've said, let's do more tests on her, make sure it's not pseudo-seizures, because you can get seizures that are not epilepsy related. You can get pseudo-seizures, or in other words, I believe they're called PNES seizures. They are seizures in like another... That will be another video. I will do a video on it, so please keep like up to date with my videos. You'll be able to learn more about things like that. That's why I'm doing things epilepsy and seizure related. I could do things around like collapsing episodes and things like that. So yeah, as you can imagine, I've got a lot to put out here. So anyways, because of this like idea, the ambulance crew said, we'll put you forward for more tests to make sure it's not epilepsy, or if it is, then we'll have a second sort of run of it. We'll have a second sort of like view, a second opinion. So I said, okay, whatever. So they sent me home because these tests were being done and there was nothing they could do for me before these tests. It was kind of aggravating that I had to prove myself to my school for a second time. But, you know, it was what I had to do. I mean, I knew I was genuine. My friends and family knew I was genuine. And that was good enough for me. So for 2 teachers to cause a load of problems, it was frustrating that only 2 people could cause such a big thing, but they weren't really relevant to me. And if you're the teacher or teachers who had this opinion of me and you're watching, I don't like you. But anyways, yeah. So I went to school the following day. I did not want to be sitting at home. My GCSEs were a few months away. Because this was in January, I had revision to do, I had practice tests to do. I had loads of things that I just wanted to do in school that I couldn't do at home, so I decided to go back to school. I had another bad episode in school. I had 4 seizures and an ambulance was called and I went to the hospital. The main reason an ambulance had been called for this one was because I managed to hit my head quite hard off of the floor. So not only did I have 4 seizures, but I had managed to bloody hurt myself. So I went to hospital. The following day I got ready for school because they sent me home again, because again it was, there's nothing we can do for you until your tests are done. So I went back home. The following day I was up and ready for school again. Epilepsy has never really made me miss a day of school. I've never allowed it to do that. I've always had a seizure and gone back to lesson and things like that. So it wasn't like I was pushing myself too much into going to school, but I was just trying to keep my mind off the seizure thing because it was so stressful for me. I wanted something to keep my mind off it, and I feel like not only was it good for me to be in school exam-wise, but it was good for me to keep my focus off things that were stressing me out, like the epilepsy. So yeah, the next day I got ready for school, and I was told, you are not going to school today. The school doesn't want you in the school because of your seizures. You're too much of, you cause too many problems for the school. Because of the ambulance calls that we have had to do for you, you sort of give the school a bad reputation. And I wasn't the only student that wasn't allowed in school, medical problem wise. apparently there was 12 other students besides me. My school nurse was really good to me at the time that all of this was happening, whilst everyone else was being arsehole. She was fabulous. If you are watching and you're the school nurse from Kingsford, I would like to say thank you, because honestly, you have been really good to me and the other students and teachers as well who had problems, and I just think that it was a shame that Kingsford had to say goodbye to you, but you were an honest credit to school amongst other teachers who were really good. So if you're watching, then thank you. So yeah, this school nurse had told me what these teachers had been saying about me, so it kind of let me know who was on my side and who wasn't, and it allowed me to trust people. And you'd think that you'd be able to trust teachers, but obviously you can't, because even the most professional of people can have an opinion of you that sucks. So anyways, I had these tests done for a second time, and it came back with, obviously, epilepsy. So, round 2, ding ding, I had been diagnosed with epilepsy for a second time. Now, I had a petition that was online that meant that I was going to be going back to school. And school said they didn't want me back on school grounds unless I had a full diagnosis, I had a care plan, they knew that I wasn't going to have any more in school, and there was no promising with any of that, because you don't know when a fit is going to happen. I mean, I'm not being funny, you don't wake up one day and think, oh, I know, I'm going to have a fit today, so let me take the day off. You wake up and think, let me get on with my day, and if it happens, it happens, but I'm not going to revolve my life around epilepsy. I don't want to do that, and I know so many other people that don't want to do that either. So, yes, I put a petition up to get myself back into school, because there was a chance that I would have to move school and look somewhere else, because there was a chance that my school was not going to let me back into the school because of these seizures. And this petition went up. I had a load of people supporting me, I had people sharing it and commenting and being really supportive, people messaging me asking what can I do to help you. There was a paper petition, an online one. Yeah, which the paper petition that my friends had set up to get me back into school got taken off them by the teacher who had this opinion of me that my fits were fake. So there's a surprise that it was him that took it. Anyways, with a load of meetings and appointments that I had gone to and letters and being on medication and upping it and having to go on vitamins because I was fucking really low on it for some reason, I went back to school. So that is pretty much my roller coaster ride of getting my full diagnosis. I have put a video on Facebook before on my epilepsy sort of like journey, but a lot had happened since then with the whole not being allowed in school, so I thought I would do another video for those of you who have already seen like my Facebook version. So this isn't much different, but it's just got a bit more to it because more had happened since my last video, if that makes sense. Yeah, that is my epilepsy story / journey. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have epilepsy or know someone with epilepsy or just would like to know more about epilepsy, it's always really good to know more about it anyway. Please keep watching my videos. I hope to do loads of different videos. If you've got any video requests, please let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe to support this channel. I hope to do a lot more epilepsy related, as I might have mentioned before. So anyways, I hope you all have a lovely, lovely day, and I hope you find some sort of interest in my channel for one reason or another, and I hope it supports you one way or another if it doesn't support someone else. So anyways, that is my epilepsy journey. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.